What do the wealthy do that the poor don't? Today I have 4 things that the super wealthy do that the poor and the middle class won't do that is holding them back from becoming wealthy. You see, a lot of people think that the wealthy in our world were given money, when if you look at statistics, the top millionaires of this generation are first generation. That means that they were never given money, that they acquired it themselves, that the secrets of the wealthy, of obtaining wealth, is actually very simple. It's a change of mindset, and often we are programmed from a young age by our middle class to lower class parents that we need to think a certain way when really that is not a great strategy for obtaining wealth. So what are the 5 things? Today, I'm going to give you 5 things that the wealthy do that the unwealthy don't. Number 1, the wealthy spend money to save time. One thing I do is I don't pay to do anything at my house. I pay somebody to mow my lawn. I pay somebody to do my landscaping. I pay somebody to paint my house. I pay people to do things because that costs me time. Okay, so I actually create more time, and a lot of poor and middle class people think that they have the same amount of time as the rich people. Have you ever heard someone say they have the same 24 hours in the day that we do? But we don't, because I outsource most things that I don't want to do that cost me time. Whereas the middle class person is out there pushing their lawnmower, spending an hour, hour and a half, going to get gas, going to sharpen the blades, doing all that throughout the year. You've wasted probably over 100 hours, and I didn't have to do that because I paid somebody to do it. So therefore, I have 100 hours when you don't. I've created more time. I fly private when I go travel, or I fly first class. That saves me time from having to go sit through security. I buy conveniences in my life which give me back more time. Okay? So you have to understand that the wealthy knows that if they are given more time, whatever the cost to free themselves up, they can go produce way more money than it costs to pay somebody to mow the lawn. I think I pay the person who mows my lawn 45, 50, 60 bucks. I don't know. My wife takes care of it. But you give me that hour back, dude, I make way more than $60 for an hour. So for me, it makes 100% to outsource that. Number 2, the wealthy do not work jobs. They own businesses. You will not become wealthy beyond $4 to $5 million of acquired wealth. Maybe you might be able to acquire that if you work a job. But unless you're in the massive 1% of being an executive for a Fortune 500 company, when those people are really entrepreneurs anyways, you are not going to obtain a substantial amount of wealth unless you own a business. The fastest way, most sure way that I've seen is not through real estate. It's through owning a business. You need ownership in a business to be able to acquire wealth, because if you start the right business and you grow that business's value that could be sold at a multiple of the profit. So if you build a business that has $2 million in profit and can be sold for a 7 times EBITDA, that's $14 million. You're not going to get that working for a job. You're not going to get that when you help your boss make more money and then the owner's getting rich selling it off to private equity. You're not going to get rich unless you own a business. So if you want to become wealthy, you got to own a business. You got to become an entrepreneur. You can deny it, you can run away from it, you can do whatever you want, but you got to have it. You got to become an owner if you want to be wealthy. Because if you look at every wealthy person in our world and you look through their bio, they all owned businesses. So if you think you can do it without doing it the same way as everybody else, then you're crazy. You have to do it that way. Number 3, the wealthy understand that money is plentiful. They do not have a scarcity mindset. The middle class and the lower class, if you're raised in a household like me, the dollar spent is horrible. Oh my gosh. We just throwing money away. I can't believe we spent money on that. Oh my gosh, the money's going away. Where is it? It's always going away. You can never have more. When I'm going to tell you something right now, money is the most plentiful object on our world today. Look around. Within a half a mile radius, there is something that is a transaction that is going on. Maybe there's a Starbucks, maybe there's a coffee shop, maybe there's a McDonald's, whatever. There is money being transacted. Money is flowing, and it is plentiful all over the place. You just have to find a way to acquire it. Usually that's through owning a business. So money is plentiful. The wealthy know that if they have to spend money on something because of an inconvenience, they don't care because they can go make more. And when you work a job, you know that your money is tied to your time and you only have so much time. And if you spend money, then you have to go spend more time to make back that money that you spent. And then you're never going to become wealthy because you can't invest the money that you already spent because you don't have any more time. You run out of time and you're 60, 65 and you have no more time left, so you can't make any more money. That's the scarcity when it comes to retirement. How many old people do you know that have money defined as maybe $1 million or $2 million, that are scared like crazy? They're scared that they're going to run out. They can't spend money. They're complaining that the waitress charged them for an extra ranch on their food. That is not freedom. That is scarcity. And the wealthy don't have scarcity because they know how to create income. Number 4, the wealthy network to their opportunities. They don't ask for opportunities or hope an opportunity comes. You see, it's not the best who wins in business. It's not the best who wins in life. It's not the best, the highest grades in school who becomes the wealthiest person out of the graduating class. No, it's often the C student who knows everybody, who's connected, and people know that person. It's about who you know and also who knows you. So when an opportunity comes up, they know of you and they say, hey, Joe, I want you. When there's somebody better than Joe out there, but nobody knows that guy, so nobody can pay you. Nobody can provide you an opportunity unless they know you. So the wealthy know this very well. That's why they join country clubs. That's why they're always networking with each other. That's why they pay for exclusive vacations where they're around other wealthy people. They talk to people. They deal with business deals. They're wanting to meet with other wealthy people. That's why they live in neighborhoods where there's only other wealthy people, because they know that the network provides opportunities for them to become more wealthy. So if you want to become rich, you need to get to know more people and the right people. We need to be getting to know other people that are moving and shaking and providing opportunities and out there hustling. I've had more opportunities in my life that I don't deserve from people that I knew, and somebody else probably should have had the opportunity, but I got it because I knew somebody and somebody knew me. Number 5, the wealthy invest and reinvest more than they spend. This is where where the middle class and lower class say, how can someone live in a house like that? How does somebody go on a vacation? How do they afford to fly private? How do they afford? Blah, blah, blah. You know how they afford it? Because they've constantly lived below their means, which, let's be honest, if you're making $1 million a month, it's very easy to live below your means, but they do not go below it, and they're not stupid with the money. It's very easy to live below your means when you're making a lot of money. Trust me, I am at that point where I'm like, hey, I could live like I'm a wealthy person, but I don't. I live at a normal means, and I'm slowly increasing my standard of living, because as I slowly increase it, my investments that I'm making in the reinvestments, means the returns from my investments that I reinvest back in to either mutual funds, stock market, other businesses that I bought, or reinvesting back into my main business, all those things are continuing to yield me dividends that continue to outpace my expenses. So as my standard of living goes slowly up, my income is going up so much higher that I'll never be able to surpass it, which allows me to build substantial wealth month after month, year after year. And that's how you acquire more than $20 to $30 million in wealth in your life. You do not acquire that by spending all your money on things that do not return of an investment. You can blow your money. I have a Rolex. It was like 15, 20 grand. I don't know how much it was. It doesn't matter, because the money that I spent is so much smaller than the investment returns that I get. So you have to understand that this watch, for somebody who works a W-2 job and is an employee, this is a big purchase. But for somebody like me, it is not a big purchase, because I have investments and reinvestments that continue to pay for me for this little increase of standard of living that I have. So the wealthy know this. And if you're sitting here today and you're like, Nate, basically what you've said, the thesis of what you said is that for me to be wealthy, really the honest truth is I need to own a business. And that's 100% true. You need to become an entrepreneur. And I have a book that I wrote. It's called Your Next Business, right here. Your Next Business, How to Find a Business Idea and Scale It to Over $1 Million. This book I spent a lot of time on, and this book is going to be a game plan for you to find your business idea, very easily where there's an actual opportunity in your community and how to grow that business idea and scale it to over $1 million. This book is only $5. I'm selling it at cost for $5. You can download it from my website. I have a link below, and this book will help you get to the next level. So if you're sitting here and you're saying, Nate, you spoke to me today, it's something that I need to take a step forward. I need to take the next step in my life because I want to be wealthy, and the only way you're going to become wealthy, independently wealthy, with true freedom, over $10 million, is going to be through owning the right business. The right business. And an easy way to find if it's the right business is reading my book so you can find out what are the characteristics of the right business that grows and is scalable and sellable. So if you like today's video, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll be providing helpful content on a weekly basis. Thank you.